South Park, gonna have myself a time. Friendly faces every...
Alright guys, this is going to be a particularly awesome review. You know why? Because it's for South Park Season 13. Oh! Yes, it is amazing. The thing that always floors me about South Park is how every season seems better than the one before. Each season seems to have more and more episodes that just, you know, you can't believe they just did that, or it gets stuck in your head. This one in particular had so many songs that I walked around singing after I saw the episode. For example, the Kanye West Fish song. Yeah. First off, they started off strong with the Jonas Brothers episode about the purity rings. It was hilarious. There's a giant Mickey Mouse wreaking havoc on everybody and going, oh, ha-ha, ha-ha, ha-ha. And so that made me walk around and annoy people doing that voice for quite some time. Hilariously dead-on takes of these characters. The Coon was an amazing mishmash of Watchmen, the Spirit, and the Dark Knight. Cartman becomes a superhero, and he's a superhero raccoon to be the symbol that the city needs, but faces competition with another unknown superhero, Mysterion. Mysterion shows up, and there's a reappearance of Professor Chaos. Chaos, such a drag. But really, it's a very funny episode. One of the smartest episodes to date for South Park was the Margaritaville episode that they actually submitted for the Emmy that season. It is a really, really fun, detailed take on the economy as compared to religion, while trying to explain why it all went south in a detailed, ridiculously screwed up way. Fish Sticks, awesome parody of Kanye West's songs, and it's about a joke that he apparently couldn't get. Over the course of the episode, his character ends with a wonderful song that probably will appear in the credits here. By targeting Kanye's inability to take a joke, Trey and Matt were ahead of the curve here because he hadn't even interrupted Taylor Swift's award speech yet. This is so hard to matter-of-factly review something that just makes me laugh so much. Okay. Being serious now. Another episode that was really funny is called Fat Beard, and Cartman convinces some kids to run away with him to Somalia to become pirates. And piracy isn't quite what they thought it would be, but there's another really funny musical number here. And a yo-ho-ho! And a ee-hee-hee! We're pirates! And it's just silly. The guys do it again with another funny yet somewhat controversial episode, Dead Celebrities. It seemed like a lot of celebrities died in 2009, so after a 6-month break in the season, at their first opportunity, they said goodbye to Michael Jackson the only way how, by doing one last really silly episode about him wanting to be a little girl in a beauty pageant. So they get to make fun of little girls in beauty pageant reality shows, and say goodbye to the character of Michael Jackson, who usually went around with little kid named Blanket in previous episodes. Pretty much as far as you could go with it, and sometimes it felt pretty wrong to laugh, but how could you not when it was just being so ridiculous? I really loved that they also got to rip off of the ghost hunters, the people who keep jumping at like absolutely nothing, like, oh, what was that? Then there's also an episode where Butters figures out how to make money by pimping girls on the playground to sell hugs and kisses to everybody else, and a local police sergeant goes deep undercover to break up the prostitution ring. And it gets a little weird. Really weird, actually, but yeah, I had coffee today, so I'm like, blah, blah. Another one of my favorite episodes this season is the WTF episode, where the boys start their own backyard wrestling federation and slowly gain the attention of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He's in that poster over there, in case you were wondering who the guy with the thing is. It's kind of near and dear to my heart because, as you can tell from some of the posters, I am a little bit of a wrestling fan, but don't worry, I have all of my teeth. I like watching the silly storylines and the drama. And so comparing wrestling to theater was hilarious. There's the episode with the Japanese slaughtering dolphins, a takeoff of The Cove and reality show Whale Wars. I did not know that this was an actual show, but after listening to the commentary, I guess it is an actual show. Like, people go out there on their battleships and they're going to stop the Japanese from slaughtering dolphins, but they don't do anything. So yeah, it is pretty funny to make fun of them in this way. You'll really like the reason the Japanese have for going after the dolphins revealed at the end of the episode. Cartman gets to sing Lady Gaga on their Rock Band Guitar Hero setup. I like to hold them like they do in Texas Blade. I love it. So it's a lot of fun. I wish I knew more of the words. One of the episodes that was really, really awesome was the F word. I thought that this was kind of a moving forward episode here politically because a derogatory name used for homosexuals in the past, they attempt to redefine it to apply it to an actually annoying group of people. Because gay people are not annoying. They don't deserve this word, but if you take the word and use it towards a group of people that, you know, are really annoying, they tried to use it towards loud, obnoxious bikers who just run around going run, 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 and just want all the attention in the world to be on them. Nothing ruins your day quicker than a bunch of people being really, really, really obnoxiously noisy. There's a Dances with Smurfs episode, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's Avatar and Glenn Beck being poked fun at. The conclusion of the season is Pee, where the kids go to Pee-Pee's Splash Town and have a 2012-like proportion disaster. The water to pee ratio is like flipped to entirely pee, and they're all stuck at the water park. This episode is an ultimate gross out, but another fun thing is we get another song from Cartman. Cartman is ultimately racist. He's all sorts of bad things, and that's why he's fun to make fun of, because he's a bit of an outlet for anyone who sees people who actually feel these things. So it's kind of fun to make fun of Cartman. And that's why I like Cartman so much, because he's so ridiculous. No one out there could be this bad of a person, and that's why we make him the target. There's too many minorities in my water park. And he gets this funny idea in his head that the minorities would take over the world and enslave him. But he never quite clicks it that he would be the minority then. He's like, no, the minorities are the minorities. And why you would want to get the DVDs when iTunes makes it so easy to download the episodes. You can get them in HD quality right away and you don't have to wait. But the added value, it seems to be getting the DVDs. They're trying to add extra things on there to give you the incentive. You get to have DVDs with commentary. There's a behind the scenes tour of the studio, and they have deleted scenes and deleted endings to make it a little bit more worth it for collectors and diehard fans of South Park. Ray and Matt do about 5 minutes of commentary explaining each episode right up at the front. It's not very long, but how much could you say about a half-an-hour episode? You wouldn't want them to sit there just making up stuff after a while, because they just talk about basically where the idea came from and any issues they had with putting it all together. And a lot of it's random. It's all pretty funny. It's kind of interesting to see how the process works. Speaking of the process, on Disc 1 is the Inside Xbox behind the scenes tour of South Park Studios. It's actually really cool because it is kind of neat to see how they create the characters on the computers and how they basically just start out with a few different angles of the character and they move them around on the screen. And then they find out later on if they need to find a different version of the character if something happens to them or a different angle, and they kind of just use those basic ones to make the other ones from. Apparently, it only takes Trey and Matt about 23 minutes to do a 22-minute episode with voices, so I guess they're pretty good at getting jokes on the first take. There are about 7 deleted scenes. Just have some alternate endings, some different things that they had to cut for time, and most of them, it's totally understandable why they cut it for time or why it may have been unnecessary. South Park Season 13, definitely one of my favorites, one of the best. So you basically need to go and go, Mom, I want to buy South Park Season 13 because it's awesome, it's so cute. And then we need to buy pension pie. If you thought that was ridiculous, you should see me do karaoke. And sailing away, getting open head for the virgin sea, and get to, and you can't remember time to run, never baby child is born, and you get to, way too much coffee. Ah!
Check out our other movie reviews at hauntedflower.com, your place for fantastic apparel, action figures, and collectibles. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, fan our Facebook page, or add us as a friend on MySpace or Rotten Tomatoes. If you're local to the Indianapolis area, visit indiemojo.com for details on how you can win free screening passes.
Okay, I'm never going to be able to do the review unless I turn down this music.